Welcome to Ruger Tech Tips. Today we're going to show you on the Ruger LCP II how to do disassembly, cleaning, and then reassembly. To begin with, you need a good clean workspace. You need the proper cleaning equipment. I just ordered a cleaning kit from shopruger.com. You need some type of oil and a good solvent for that. I'm going to use a regular cleaning jag and the correct size brush for the bore, set of cleaning patches, a rag just to wipe the parts off, and an oily rag just to coat everything with oil. To disassemble the gun, I'm just going to use a small screwdriver. I will need a good pair of safety glasses when I'm working on the gun. Now to begin with, I want to make sure that the gun is completely unloaded and free of any ammunition. Both in the magazine, I'll make sure the magazine and all the magazines with the gun are free of ammunition, and the chamber as well. So to start with, I'm going to take my pistol and I'm going to close the slide. And there's a disassembly pin on the side of the pistol, and I want to make sure the slide is slightly to the rear. Just bring that back about 1/8 of an inch. Get your screwdriver under the pin, and you just pry that out. You'll hear that pop. Once the pin is removed, you can pull the slide from the frame. Then I have, in the center of my slide, I have a spring and guide rod. Actually, it's 2 springs. I'm going to take that out, set that to one side, and then my barrel lives up and out. And that's it for disassembly. It's very, very simple. Then I'm going to go through the cleaning process. I'm going to get some solvent inside my bore to begin with. So I'm going to take my solvent and I'm just going to coat my brush, and I'm going to run that through and get that soaking. I'm also going to take a patch and get some solvent on that and work on the outside of the barrel while the inside is soaking in solvent. Wipe that all down. Next, I'm going to take a patch and run that through the bore to clean out any debris I have in there from the solvent soaking. And just push that. And I'm running it through from the chamber to the bore to the muzzle end. So I run that right on through. That comes out pretty clean, not bad. And I'll do that a few times. Run a solvent-soaked patch through it this time. And I'm basically going to keep repeating this process until my patches start coming out clean. Once I know that the bore is nice and clean, I'm going to take another patch and just a small amount of oil. Don't go crazy on the oil. And I'm just going to run that through the bore just to put a light coat of oil right through the bore. So that's good and coated. Now, before you put this into use, before you're going to fire it, you want to run a dry patch through, make sure the bore is clean. And I'm basically going to repeat this process for the remainder of the pistol. Put some solvent on a patch, and I'm going to clean all the inside of my slide. Clean those rails, clean the bottom. Use my rag and just wipe everything down, get all that solvent out of there, all the debris out of there. Once I've done that, I'm going to basically repeat that same process for all the parts. For your frame, it's a little trickier getting down in here, but again, you can just use the solvent wetted patch, get down inside there, wipe out the entire outsides to coat everything. You could go in with a small brush, clean out any debris that might be down inside, and again, wipe out any excess. Once you've done that, you're ready to just give everything a coat of oil, get some lubricant on there. And again, you don't want to go crazy on the amount of oil that you use. Just get a very light film of oil, and you're going to coat all of the parts. Including your springs and guide rod. Now, on your pivot points, you would want just where the pivot is, the trigger pivot, just a single drop of oil on those locations is about the most you're going to need on those, and really no more than that. And on the bottom of my rails and bottom of my slide, the same with that. Just a single drop is the most you will need there. Do not over lubricate. Once you've cleaned and lubricated everything properly, the next step is just to reassemble this. So I'm going to take my barrel assembly and I'm going to go muzzle end first into the slide and then just bring that back so it locks down in. My spring and guide rod assembly, the guide rod kind of has a nail head to it, and that would be to the center of the barrel. The front ends of the spring goes into the slide, and there's a little cutout that sits into, that's the guide rod goes into, and there's just bring it forward, that locks in place. You're going to take your slide and put that onto the rails of your frame, and again, just the way you took it apart, you're going to push that slide back slightly. There's a little piece of wire in there, it's a spring. You're going to use your disassembly pin to push that down and slide this over the top. So I'm just going to push my takedown pin over that, and everything is back together. And I'm going to do just a quick function check. I know it's clear, there's no live ammunition, and I'm just going to cycle it through its action a few times to make sure everything's working on that. I'm going to put the magazine in, make sure the slide locks back. Everything seems to be in working order. Congratulations, you've now disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled your Ruger LCP II. Thanks for watching this Ruger Tech Tip.